Welcome to Frequency Matters, the RF and Microwave Update Series. I'm Pat Hindle, and I'm here with my co-host Gary LaRue. In this episode, we're going to take a look at our May 5G and IMS issue. Big news recently in that IMS announced that they will go virtual, and that'll be happening in August. So we'll have to wait to get more details on that. But I did interview Tim Lee a little bit earlier, so we can look at that video later on in our library so you can get a little bit of background and information. But our May cover feature is very good. It's written by our own Gary LaRue, and he worked in collaboration with Qualcomm to talk about the evolution of cellular communications all the way up to today's 5G technology. So it's a really great historical piece and looks at how the technology evolved over the years. So I hope you enjoyed writing that because it's definitely a great piece.
Well, thanks. I recall when Qualcomm was just starting out and look at the amazing impact they've had on the industry since then. And I have to say, I really appreciate the support of Suranjita Chowdhury and her team at Qualcomm, who provided a lot of the details that otherwise wouldn't have been accessible to me. We have some other articles in the May issue, which is historically our largest. Another retrospective article, this one from Win Semiconductor, reviewing the advancements in 3.5 technology and performance over the past 20 years, basically over Win's history. And they've certainly been a bellwether for the compound semiconductor industry. So this is an article you'll want to read and archive for the future. Of course, our theme is partially 5G, and we have a couple of 5G articles in the issue. Alcan Systems has yet another approach for a phased array, this one based on liquid crystal technology, very interesting. And then Pasternak has given us an article on the role of satellites in the 5G network. We have an interesting article on a MEM switch, this one using a metamaterial contact, and it's a collaboration between Synergy Microwave and the Indian Institute of Technology. This will be a three-part series. We're publishing the first part in this issue, which discusses concepts and technology. And then finally, we have an application note from Morian about selecting quartz oscillators that will have good frequency stability over temperature. So there's probably something for everyone in this issue.
Yes, this is always our biggest issue of the year, so it always has quite a big editorial rundown. We had a very special guest join us today remotely. Harish Krishnaswamy joined us as co-founder and CTO of Mixcomm. He talked about the company's unique millimeter wave 5G technology and the markets that they're addressing, and a little bit of history on the company as a new startup. So let's take a look at a clip from that now.
A number of companies are making millimeter wave RFICs for 5G. What differentiates your technology and the Summit IC that you recently announced?
Yeah, absolutely. So, certainly there's been, quite a bit of work on millimeter wave deployments and specifically silicon millimeter wave beamforming ICs as front-end modules. I'd say that, millimeter wave generally is quite challenged in that, fundamentally the signal doesn't travel very far. It gets very easily absorbed by anything that contains moisture, whether it's, the foliage or the human body, etc. And so all of these things challenge millimeter wave link budgets and stand in the way of robust millimeter wave links. So there really is, a desire from the industry for new technologies that particularly improve link budgets as they stand. And so our focus has been on that front and primarily on the power amplifier side. So, we exploit SOI CMOS to build power amplifiers that achieve higher output power and higher efficiency than the current state of the art. We achieve as much as 2x higher efficiency than current solutions that are out there. SOI CMOS and specifically the RF SOI suite of processes that GlobalFoundries offers have many things that really enable improved millimeter wave design. Obviously, SOI CMOS gives you transistors with lower parasitics, and so they give you higher speed, higher performance. The back end of the line is also specifically optimized for millimeter wave, but also SOI CMOS allows power amplifier design techniques that improve performance, specifically stacked SOI CMOS power amplifiers. That's an area that this founding team has worked on for many years preceding when we launched Mixcomm, dating back to millimeter wave stacked power amplifiers from 2010 as a part of the DARPA Elastics program. So we've been able to bring design techniques for SOI CMOS power amplifiers that that advance the state of the art compared to other people that would use that same technology.
Mixcomm has really entered a highly competitive 5G millimeter wave market, so we'll have to see how they do, and we'll definitely be following them to see how it goes in the marketplace. So turning to the news, I've been intrigued lately with the state of artificial intelligence and machine learning as it applies to RF and microwave software and analysis tools. And this week, there were quite a few releases on that. Rohde & Schwarz announced that they have an installation of an AI-based RF test system for digital TV compliance, which was done in Vietnam. This is a collaboration of the Rohde & Schwarz BTC Broadcast Test Center and RF Spark RF Automation that enabled test labs to do the TV and STB manufacturing to conduct compliance testing in a cost-effective manner. Then we also had Keysight Technologies, and they announced their PathWave Waveform Analytics, which is an edge-to-cloud computing application that improves anomaly detection and reduces data storage costs in pre-silicon validation and uses machine learning algorithms. So it includes a new data compression technology and also enables long-duration waveform compression, high-resolution playback, and analysis that exceeds terabytes of data and uses machine learning to scan that data and find anomalies. So that's a very intriguing use of it. And finally, MathWorks introduced the release 2020A, and that expands their AI capabilities for deep learning, which they had already begun in the previous revision. Engineers can now train neural networks in the updated Deep Network Designer app and manage multiple deep learning experiments and see the new Experiment Manager app and choose how they can use the network options to generate deep learning code. So very interesting news there, all coming at the same time. What did you see in the news, Gary?
Well, it's earnings season, and Cree and Miccomm released earnings last week. I thought there were a couple of things worth noting. Wolfspeed's revenue was down 19% year over year and down 6% quarter over quarter to 114 million. They said they're seeing softness in the demand for 5G base stations outside of China. Also, due to the coronavirus, they had a 2-week shutdown of their Morgan Hill facility to ensure that they were complying with county health guidelines. They have employee health measures such as staggered shifts and all the appropriate things they should be doing. This is causing some impact on their fab output. They are seeing some improvement, though, in demand this quarter, yet there's still a lot of uncertainty in the market, as you would expect. Miccomm said they have not really seen any material impact from COVID-19. Their revenue grew 4% quarter over quarter, although it was down about 2% year over year, about $126 million. They saw growth in telecom up 9% quarter to quarter. Data center was up 16%. That's a good raise. And then infrastructure and defense was down 5%. They are showing signs of recovery. They generated a free cash flow this quarter of $20 million. They say they're seeing strong bookings and they expect growth in the coming quarter, although there was no discussion of any GaN on silicon in this conference call, which I thought was interesting. So before we leave, we want to tell you about a new video series that we're creating called Marketing in the Age of COVID-19. Microwave Journal and Signal Integrity Journal are launching this series, and we are curious about how companies in the RF microwave industry and the signal integrity industry are responding to the pandemic. How are they keeping their operations running while ensuring their employees are safe? And how are they communicating with customers, particularly any shifts that they're making to their marketing or branding strategies and channels? So we've invited senior leaders from several companies who will be sharing their perspectives with us about what they're doing. So far, we have 5 episodes planned. We'll have one a week, and we'll be interested in hearing your feedback as you watch those. So we want to thank our sponsors for this episode, RFMW, a pure play RF microwave distributor, and Wireless Telecom Group. Of course, they're the parent of Booten Electronics, Holsworth, Noisecom, Microlab, and CommAgility. We really appreciate their support, particularly during this unprecedented time, and we want to thank you for watching. We hope your circle of family and friends are well and will remain so through the coming weeks and months. And we close with deep appreciation for the medical teams that are treating patients and researching treatments and vaccines for the coronavirus. Until next time.